Again. So I'm going to give final remarks. I'd like to, again, congratulate the whole class, the whole cohort of the 2015 FOEE. To me, it was very exciting to read your nominations, to look at your posters, but it was even more exciting to see your exciting and great ideas for really reforming engineering education throughout this symposium. Before we close, I'd like to give you the last quiz or insight, or initiate the next reflections. Did you have a good time? I hope so, throughout the 3 days or 2.5 days. Did you come up with new ideas to take home, implement in your courses, and disseminate at your institution? So I know you already had a lot of great ideas before coming, but hopefully you have even more greater ideas to take home. And finally, did you make friends with whom you will keep in touch and collaborate on further developing pioneer practice in engineering education, and as we heard through this last panel, not only for teaching engineering, but towards the formation of the engineer of the future. I'd like to thank again those who made FOEE possible, particularly the symposium, Dan Mote, who unfortunately could not be here over these last 3 days with us, the president of NAE, Al Roaming, who was here over the whole length of the proposal, of the symposium, and finally Beth and Jason, without whom this symposium would not have been possible. All my fellow advisory committee members, particularly Daryl Pines, the chair, Dean of Engineering at the University of Maryland, and Sharon Wood, NA member from the University of Texas at Austin, Dean of Engineering as well, Ed Barger from Purdue, Rebecca Carrière from Northeastern, Naomi Chesler from University of Wisconsin, Trevor Harding from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and Lisa Wetter from Duke University. And finally, thanks to all our wonderful keynote speakers, moderators, panelists, and all the attendees, again, for all the preparation you put into this symposium, but also all your participation, which really make this symposium so lively and so useful to all of us. So brief highlights from the symposium. Al Romeg, NAE Executive Officer, gave a history of the NAE, which was founded in 1964. It's a advisory role to the federal government of this country, and its engineering programs and studies, which are so useful, aiming at meeting national trends. And as you discovered through the symposium, engineering education is really at the top priority in the agenda of NAE. There are other priorities as well, of course, in research and in industry. But really, engineering education is going to determine the future of this country in many areas, its competitiveness, again, in many areas. And so you, or us, as engineering educator, will really play a crucial role, and we need to think very deeply about how to create the next generation of engineers. So FOEE's mission is to strengthen the engineering and innovation capacity and capability of the US through a community of emerging engineering education leaders, and that's you. Are also focused on the NAE grand challenges that we all know about, but really it's very important for us to focus on these challenges, not only through research, but also the education of our students. And there is also this new initiative at NAE, this student video contest. And as you saw in Al's presentation, we can all use these amazing and fantastic videos that students, not only from college, but pre-college have come up with, which are very, very inspiring to not only us, but also the next generation of students. Our keynote speakers were Jonathan Jaglam and Anthony Moschella from MakerBot, who talked about MakerBot and their reliable and affordable desktop 3D printing for the next industrial revolution. which enables creativity while reducing design cycle time and cost, but really can also play a very crucial role in our education of the next generation of engineers, as 3D printing is becoming the 21st century learning commons. 3D printer innovation centers are analogous to the desktop computer labs set up in the 80s. That was amazing to see what some of the universities are already doing. Panel 1 focused on maker spaces in engineering education, building on the keynote speaker's remarks. These are shops that we are setting up at most universities. They are design, fabrication, innovation shops in various formats. Some common themes were interdisciplinary teams, real-world problem solving, design project work, and design thinking. And it was also discussed that assessment of such spaces and their impact on the students is an important activity that we should all think about. Not only let the students do whatever they want to do, but how do such spaces impact on the design ability of our students, as well as their innovation and entrepreneurship, multidisciplinary teaming, and also recruitment and retention of our students in engineering. Panel 2 focused on global engineering and the social context, educating students to meet challenges in developing countries and the US. I have my daughter who graduated from engineering, and she actually travels more than I do. And when she doesn't travel, she's on the phone with colleagues from other countries, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So whatever we're going to do, or what our students are going to do, is likely to involve other countries, and it's absolutely crucial for us to give those skills to our students. And of course, developing countries have enormous challenges that we have all the responsibility to address. But also in terms of additional skills to give to our students, such activities are really creating socially engaged engineers with enhanced professional skills. And also, we have seen that it leads to increased diversity in such activities. But the question is how to remake such programs substantial, certifiable, and accessible to all students. So sending our students abroad is, of course, extremely valuable to our students, but there were a lot of discussions, I thought, about what can be done on our campuses. And probably a lot can be done just thinking about the campus experience and their international experience through specific classes. Panel 3, as we just heard, focused on revolutionizing engineering education. Beyond just learning engineering, it's very important for us to think about the formation of the practicing engineer. This is what industry needs. This is what the society and the world needs, and we need to focus on that. We need to make changes to the curriculum and the classroom, but we also need to change the whole ecosystem which needs to take place. This ecosystem, as we just heard, is a very complex system with a lot of interactions, and we need to focus on that. There is this wonderful opportunity at NSF right now to focus on how do we change the culture in our respective departments. You can become change agents for your department, and we heard a lot of change strategies from our panel and participations of the audience. We learned a lot through all your posters, but also I hope that you really enjoyed the affinity group activities. And I thought that the ideas which came out of these activities were very creative and very inspiring, and I hope that they are going to end up in the classroom. I listed most of them, as I hope that I did not forget any of them. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I can highlight a few of them. Linking engineers to humanity through new media, for example. Use Tumblr as a depository for engineering content, so that it's not useful only for that particular teacher, but can be shared between instructors at different universities and students at different universities throughout the world. So that actually theme of a depository was a common theme through a lot of the ideas that we saw emerging from these activities. Education, configurator for different mindsets, design a customized education in engineering with multiple pathways with a common trunk of knowledge with another idea. Also presented in a very colorful manner. Secret strategies for engaging, challenging, retaining, and empowering teams of students with an emphasis on design projects, not only, as we heard in the last panel, in the freshman year and in capstone design project at the end of the curriculum, but also in the core curriculum in the sophomore and junior year, every year. Customized according to the interests of the students, and perhaps also think about how to make it easy on the instructors, which I thought was very attractive, through a common platform. Another idea was to teach the students, teach the teachers active learning through SMILES, students motivated by interactive learning exercises. We all have, or most of us have centers for learning and teaching in our universities, but engineering education is very specific, and perhaps giving boot camps to our instructors would be extremely helpful on active learning, and also the presentation was very colorful and lively. So conference next steps, your job does not end today and this morning. Beth will be sending an evaluation form shortly, so please fill it out, do your duty. Evaluation is critical to improvements, so it's critical to initiate change and at your different universities, but it's important to us as well. FOEE is always evolving, looking to update and change its format. We want to make it as helpful and useful as possible to the next cohorts. We want your feedback on the entire symposium. Format, content, speakers, poster presentations, affinity group discussions, etc., as well as the hotel and the travel arrangements. And all meeting materials will be available on the FOEE website, so please check that. And finally, have safe travels back home. Shuttles will be provided at 10:30 this morning to take participants back to the hotel, but also to the airports. Thank you so much for all your participation, and all the best for really changing the world of engineering education.